Hi there, and welcome to Upcycled Adulting, my YouTube channel where I help you upcycle your real life into your best life by creating healthy habits, growing to achieve your goals, and overcoming obstacles. And today we're going to start talking about habits. We're going to talk about why habits and routines improve your life, even if you struggle to establish them. Now, first of all, I want to point out to everybody that I am one of the people who struggles to set up habits. Now, my husband, he can absolutely decide he wants to have this habit, do it for 3 days, and it's a habit forever. Me, I can do it for 100 days and still struggle to do it habitually. However, doing it regularly and setting up cues and reminders and things of that nature does help reduce some of the mental energy required to do it. And that in and of itself is so beneficial. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about why habits and routines matter and why, even if something doesn't become fully automated, it still is a beneficial thing to pursue creating habits in your own way in your life. Now, I'm going to talk about habits and routines for the next several weeks. I'm going to be sharing all kinds of ways to form habits, make them stick, and to break habits and create good habits and all that stuff. I highly recommend you subscribe, especially if you're a person who struggles with habit creation, because I'm going to be digging deep into this topic and also sharing my own experience in struggling to create habits, which I know is rarely done because, listen, I've read all the books, y'all. I've read them all, and I have to tell you that most of them really assume that 30 days in, you'll have a habit. That is not me, and if that's not you, this is the place for you to be. So there are a lot of ways in which habits and routines improve your life. I couldn't possibly cover them all in this video. My clients are always telling me the most interesting stories about accomplishment and breakthrough, that at their root there's some sort of habit or routine. I also did not realize that you can create habits in your own way even if they are not fully automated. I kept thinking I was doing it wrong because my habits weren't automated. And it does not matter. Again, I can do something for 90 days every single day and it still is not automatic for me. But that doesn't mean it's not a routine or regularly occurring thing in my life. And that doesn't mean that it isn't easier than it used to be. So one of the big ways that habits and routines improve your life is that they build confidence. They should be building confidence. So if you are beating yourself up about how difficult it is to create habits or how it's not happening automatically or how you have been, for example, this was one for me. I had been exercising for like 90 days and I still had to get up and do it. I wasn't automatically doing it. It just wasn't a part of my life. It wasn't becoming who I was. It wasn't becoming automated in any way. It was still something that took a lot of thought. If you are mindful of the fact that doing something routinely is a win, right? It's a win. If you brush your teeth every day, that's a win. That can help build confidence. And we can reduce some of the brain power or decision making that goes into those tasks by creating ease, lowering barrier of entry, giving ourselves reminders or cues, especially since it's something that happens regularly. When we do this, it builds our confidence. Being able to acknowledge that you have been doing a thing on a consistent basis in a routine way in your life regularly, even if it's not automatic, builds confidence. But the key here is to be mindful of the achievement, even when it's something really small. A lot of times the things that we try to turn into habits or pack into the routines are actually relatively small things, right? Brush your teeth, empty the dishwasher, make your bed, things like that. And those small things happening with a little bit less energy expended, a little bit less decision making involved, gives you a win with less energy going in. And that win causes a dopamine release, and that dopamine is responsible for motivation. So just taking these small things, putting them into routines, getting them done, again, even if we need a visual reminder, and creating awareness of the fact that we've gotten done is a low energy way to produce dopamine so that we have the motivation we need to do the next thing. That is a huge benefit. The next thing is that habits help you become your very best self. They help you to do the things that you need to do for future you in present time. Putting them as part of your regular routine or what you do with a little bit less thought or effort helps to shape who you're going to become, right? It helps to shape who you are now and who you are becoming. In addition, establishing habits and routines helps to create time and energy for what matters more to you. It frees up time and energy because, again, even if you need a reminder, even if you need a visual cue, even if whatever that is that helps you get that string of things done, it actually gets them done faster. The more that you do something, the more practiced you are at something, the easier and faster it is to get it done. So when we do something regularly, when we do something with high frequency, we often improve our skills at that thing and we are able to get it done more quickly with less energy expenditure. So it's very important when we are doing our habits or our routines or establishing them to really be thinking about what are some things in my life that I would like to happen with greater ease, less energy expenditure, and less time expenditure. It's really important to also recognize that I personally think that there are a lot of benefits to struggling with habit creation. There are a lot of benefits to habit creation not becoming so automatic. And this is one of the areas where I think that that's true. Because when habits become fully automated, there is zero room for change in them. You automatically do them. And a lot of us have done this, like, for example, when we're driving and you go on autopilot and you automatically drive somewhere because that's where you drive regularly. Same kind of thing happens. But if there's any kind of change in your life in the future, because it's automated, it's very difficult to make adjustments to that thing to fit your current life season. When you are not quite as automated, right? It's in a string, it's in a routine, or it's prompted and it gets done regularly and consistently, and it's become as efficient as it can become. When something changes in your life or you have a different life season, you actually are able to make the tweaks necessary to make it more efficient for that season of life so that it will save you even more time and more energy for what matters most. I bet you had no idea that creating habits that are not quite automated can actually be a superpower. This is actually quite beneficial. The next thing is that having habits and routines helps you to ditch willpower and self-discipline forever. This is especially true, again, if your habits don't become fully automated. And the reason why is because, as I talked about in the beginning, the dopamine loop. When your habits become fully automated, sometimes you don't even notice that you're doing them, so you don't give yourself credit for them. When your habits are not quite fully automated, they need a trigger, like they need a cue of some sort, or they need a decreased barrier of entry, or whatever that may be for you, you are aware that you are doing the thing. And because of that awareness, you can give yourself credit for having done the thing, and that will create that dopamine release that is required for motivation. One of the areas where we really struggle here is for people who don't necessarily create automated habits. A lot of times, instead of being proud of ourselves that we're doing these things habitually or regularly or inside of a routine, and that we have to think of them, but we're still doing them, is that we actually get really down on ourselves about the fact that it's not automatic, right? I remember for years being like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just automatically do this stuff? And it was harder because of my partner and how they do it, because I was like, you can create a habit in 3 days and I can't do it ever. And something's obviously wrong with me. And what's my problem? And I really feel like, if we take that out of it, if we take the expectation that it will become fully automated, if we stop beating ourselves up about it and we start just being aware of how amazing and incredible it is that we have fit this thing into our lives in a way that it consistently happens routinely, and we give ourselves credit for it, and we're really proud of that, that it will absolutely create that motivation by causing the dopamine release that we need to get fired up. Because again, motivation is not a feeling, it is a physiological reaction. And then the next thing is habits and routines help you to accomplish and maintain your goals with ease. This is because most goals are achieved through some routine action. If you want to write a book, you're going to need to write every day. If you want to get healthy, you'll need to move your body or cook healthy or both every day. If you want to declutter, you'll have to work on, right, eliminating things or minimizing every day. All right. And even once you've achieved that goal, you'll still need to continue working on that. Maybe in the decluttering example, the thing you're still working on is not buying more stuff, right? But it's important to recognize that goals are achieved through small, consistent action. They are not achieved through drastic wholesale change. And small, consistent action, another word for small, consistent action is habit, right? Habit just means small, consistent action. It doesn't have to be automatic. It's small, consistent action. And so when we are taking small, consistent actions, we are far more likely to achieve our goal and be able to maintain it. And that is incredibly important. Now, habits and routines make it easy for you to build a life you're proud of. They should be making it easier for you to build a life you're proud of. But if you are struggling with negative self-talk about your habits not being automatic, that's unlikely to happen. I'm going to encourage you to let it go. And if you are thinking right now, I do not get fired up by my habits, I want to just suggest to you that you consider using a habit tracking app like the Routinely app that allows you to build big routines and put into them even the things that come more naturally for you, right? I remember when I started using the app, the very first thing on my morning routine was get out of bed. Because once I got out of bed and I could check something off my list, it gave me the motivation I needed to do the next thing and then the next thing and then the next thing. And a lot of people really need that. You need that motivation to do the next thing and the next thing. We're not just going to do it all on our own. And this is especially true if, again, you struggle to create habits that are automatic. So I will put the link to the Routinely app below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be sharing more about habits in the upcoming weeks, and you absolutely do not want to miss this really important series. You are amazing, and you deserve to live the life you've been dreaming of. Bye, everyone.